Welcome back, YouTubers, to Katawa Shoujo. Um, uh, oh, yes, I'm actually recording at night for once. The same day as pretty much my recordings have been once a morning. This would be day 2 recording, I think. Yeah. Anyways, I just got done rendering all the videos I recorded, which was 2 hours worth, which was quite a bit, but I really love this game, so I feel like recording a little before bed, so here we are. So let's get this. I feel kind of tired, even though it's like 10:30. It's kind of early. This is good. So by the time I'm done recording this, I'll probably hit the hay. But the students roll into class for the Saturday morning session, each and every one of them sporting the tired eyes of people that have worked through the night. I've never really done that. I've just been like, screw it, I'm gonna fail or whatever. Sleep. Not a good attitude, but eh. With only a day left to prepare, I suppose it's not so surprising. Thankfully, we only have to suffer through classes until the lunch break. Then our time is our own. Half day, that's always good. Metal lurches in class in a tired stagger. I suppose students aren't the only people that enjoy their late Friday nights. I don't know why I would hate having class on Saturday. Without saying a word, he scrawls some paper and question numbers on the board and slumps down at his desk. It's completely atypical behavior for him, but it appears that no one in the class is going to call him out on it. I wouldn't. Wordlessly, the students shuffle their textbooks into position and get to work, not wanting to break the trend. Sorry, I always check my mic. I always hate having to position it and such. I do the same. Fatigue has made the class antisocial. Not a peep is heard among the ruffling papers. That can partially be attributed to the 2 empty seats beside me. For some reason, Misha and Shizune aren't present, probably doing council work for the festival. It's very quiet without Misha present. I wonder if she was born as rowdy as she is, or if she is making up for Shizune's lack of voice. Nakai, can I speak to you for a moment? Oh, Lord. I'm so engrossed in thinking about Misha that I don't even notice Mattel approaching my desk. Sure, what's this about? It's probably better if we speak outside the classroom. Something about this doesn't sound too good, but I stand up and follow him out into the hallway. Mattel stands in the hallway, scratching his head as he works out what he's trying to say. Not knowing what's going on, I wait silently. I heard from the school's head nurse that you had an incident the other day. Ah, so it's about that. Well, kind of, but it's not anything to be worried about. Yes, it is. Anything that can endanger your health is something to be worried about. We try our best here to be prepared to prepare you for life here. Part of that involves knowing your limits and how to work around them. It would be remiss of me if I didn't speak up again about this. Alright, I get it. I'm sorry. Vital closes his eyes in frustration. I realize that this probably wasn't the best thing to say. Sometimes something tells me that you're not sorry. Pretend as much as you want, but this isn't a normal school. A lot of people have put in a lot of time, effort, and money to make sure that you and every other student here can have the same level of education as your peers. For you to abuse that by throwing out advice, especially medical advice, is plain selfish. I'm not quite sure if this is actually how he feels, or if it's an act that he's practiced many times and guilt trips students into doing the right thing. Either way, it's working. I understand, this is all new to me, and I apologize. I know my limits now, and I'll be sticking to them. Mattel appears to lighten up a little, satisfied that his message has been received. So then, on to my next question. How are you finding your studies? I understand you were laid up for a while. We're not too far ahead, are we? I don't really think so. I tried to keep up when I was in the hospital, so it hasn't been too hard. Mattel taps his chin, raises an eyebrow as he absorbs this information. Is that so? I suppose there are still students out there that realize the importance of learning. I wouldn't go that far. I was only trying to keep myself occupied in my little life support prison. Well, yeah, you've got to keep up with these things, right? That's exactly it. One wrong move in this world, and you're left behind, right? Right. Wouldn't want that to happen. No, you wouldn't. Every week there's a new scientific discovery. Most of them mean nothing to the layperson, but any one of them could be the key to the next big thing. I'll keep that in mind. That's words of wisdom, Mitao. Wise man Mitao. It's obvious that Mitao's serious talk is over, and he's gone back to his standard, slightly scatterbrained approach to life. Speaking of scatterbrained, I think I forgot to mention, I probably won't give many clever titles for these, because usually clever titles kind of give you, like, what's coming next. And sometimes the titles can ruin something. For most games, it's not a problem. For this, because this is really legitimately story-based, it's not much on gameplay, I'm going to keep those to a minimum. Maybe something very mysterious, but otherwise it's just going to be part 7. This isn't part 7. I've already rendered part 7, but yeah, that's just it. So I'm slowly updating what I'm going to be doing throughout this. This might be my update type playthrough, I guess. But anyways, I think in hindsight that I prefer him this way. He's slightly more predictable in his unpredictability. Well then, I think that's all I had to say. Let's go back inside, shall we? My relief at that suggestion is insurmountable. Sure, you're the boss, right? Matao pauses for a moment. I don't think any of my students have ever said that to me before. For an instant, I consider replying to this, but something deep within me tells me to shut my mouth and get back into the classroom. A few of the students jump at the sound of the door, rapidly trying to pretend that they are working on the questions on the board. So don't even bother. Their heads slumped on the desk as they nap. Thankfully, it would appear that Matao doesn't even notice them. He returns to his desk and retrieves a scientific journal from one of the drawers. I guess I got to him. There. The class returns to near silence. Then Matao and I... Class returns to near silence that Matao and I left it in before our chat. Mixed feelings of tiredness and anticipation buzz around the room. Everyone here is either waiting for a chance to rest or the chance to get their last-minute preparations underway. The clock on the wall slowly ticks the remaining class time away, until finally the bells cry out, ending the torment. Yeah, this is school in a nutshell. Well, not in college, not the bells. Before you all leave, I expect the answer for those problems by Monday. The class sighs as one, instantly regretting slacking off, but still acutely aware of more pressing issues at hand. Procrastination, man, don't do it. The classroom empties in a blink as everyone rushes to their last-minute festival preparations. I stay behind to try to quickly finish the questions so I don't have to bother with it over the rest of the weekend, with the festival on all tomorrow. Apart from me, Hanako is the only one left, obviously waiting for Lily. It's weird that Lily comes all the way to our classroom to pick her up. I expect that moving around is at least nominally harder for her than it is for Hanako. But it's none of my business, and I naturally don't ask about it from Hanako. Despite the relative proximity of our seats, neither tries to strike up a conversation about that or anything else either. So an oppressive silence falls upon the classroom. Time passes in silence. It's probably just 15 minutes or so, but it feels longer. I turn pages of my notebook. Hanako turns pages of the novel she's reading. My pencil lead splinters against the paper just when I was about to finish a paragraph. The sounds of my irritated sigh and subsequent fumbling around for a sharpener feel like they're breaking the mood in the classroom. Hanako keeps her eyes firmly away from my direction. Before long, Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway. Hanako? Her name is all it takes for Hanako to jump up from her desk and run to Lily. They talk quietly for a moment, but it isn't long before Lily leaves down the hall and Hanako idles back into the classroom, taking her seat once again. I watch Hanako out of the corner of my eye, out of sheer curiosity at the idea that the two would be separated. For a couple minutes she does nothing but sit with her chin in her hand, staring at the desk dejectedly. The boredom evidently becomes too much for her, though, her slender frame reaching into her bag and pulling out a small book. Come to think of it, that isn't the one I saw her reading at the library. She must be quite a fast learner to get through them at this rate. After about 10 minutes of restlessly shuffling in her seat and trying to read, Hanako closes her book and leaves too. As should I, since the assignment is all but finished and there's nothing else to do in the classroom. Not that I have anything to do anywhere else anyway, either. The school is a beehive of activity, but no one pays me any heed. I saunter past classrooms filled with students frantically doing this and that, buzzing around like little worker bees. You wouldn't guess the school day is over. It's a bit quieter outside, but not by much. People zip by, left and right, hurrying as quick as they can, busy and energetic. I feel the opposite. The midday sun seems to... Oh god, I might sneeze. The sun seems to be draining all the spirit out of my body, making it feel limp all over. Warm, soft air flows inside my shirt, feeling like a cushion. I yawn lazily, thinking about what I'd do. I'll drop off my books at the dorms first, then something I haven't decided yet. Maybe Kenji is in his room. Oh god, no. On my way to the door, I spot Emmy coming my way, running despite not having those weird running prosthetics on. I wave at her and she skids to a stop. Yo, Hisao! Spatters of white and green paint adorn her nose and chin. They could have added that, but I'm not going to complain. I love the art, so chin respectively, but her smile is wide, as it seems it always is. She leans closer to me, amplifying the feeling she is examining me. What you doing? Nothing, really. I don't have anything to do for the festival, and everyone else seems to be doing something important. That's perfect, then you can help me in Rin. With the festival preparations? I'm not sure if I would be of much help. That's fine, I'm not much help either. Emmy grabs my wrist and starts dragging me back inside the school quite forcibly. Hey man, you want her. Even her walking speed is more like jogging, making me stumble over myself simply trying to keep up. The stairs slow Emmy down a little bit. Maybe it's hard to climb with her legs, or maybe she's finally run out of breath. We go all the way back to the third floor, into the seniors' hallway, ending up where I left 5 minutes ago. I could just as well have stayed here waiting for Emmy, had I known. So is Rin working on that mural still? Mural? There we go, mural. That's right, she needs all kinds of paints and brushes and stuff, so I went to get them from the art classroom. And you need me to help with that? Well, Rin told me you had already helped her, so I thought you wouldn't mind. I see. You don't mind, so shut up, dude. So thanks to Emmy's flaky logic, here I am again, collecting stuff from the art classroom for other people. The room is empty apart from ourselves, and the lonely specks of dust floating in the air. Emmy skips straight away to the back wall, digging out a tiny, crumpled piece of paper from her pocket. While she tries to make sense of the scrawled handwriting, I take a closer look at the materials lying around here. Dozens of paint cans and bottles are arranged on the shelf in a most unorganized fashion. Some look like they have been left there for several decades, relics of previous art club generations. Next to the heavy stacks of neatly piled drawing paper are boxes full of different sized brushes and assorted crayons. However you want to pronounce it. The smell of paint, turpentine, and fresh paper float in the stale air, mixing in my nostrils to form that unmistakable scent of art. Emmy studies her notes, comparing them to markings on the various paint cans, and passes them to me as she finds the correct matches. She stretches her neck to look on the topmost shelf, but it's not quite enough. Her eye level stays below the shelf no matter what she does. Emmy gives up and just looks up to the shelf longingly, like a child at a toy store, huffing in annoyance. After a moment of building anger, she starts jumping up and down, apparently trying to speed read the labels during the fraction of a second that she can see them and catch what she can. Catch what she can, okay. It's no surprise that she fails miserably and almost manages to bring the entire shelf crashing down. Now I see why me lending a hand would be useful. Come on, let me do that. You can't jump high enough, and I don't want you to hurt yourself trying. Also, I'm like twice your height. You are not. She turns around, flaring scorn, flushed cheeks and all. Just kidding, just kidding. Anyways, I'll look up there, okay? She glares at me one more time, but can't come up with a retort. With a grudging humph, she turns her back to me. So I begin scrounging around the top shelf for paint, while below Emmy crouches to scavenge what she can from the cupboards. I shake my head a little after double checking to ensure she can't see me do so. Emmy having a complex about her height was a surprise. I wouldn't have joked about it otherwise. She seemed easygoing, but I guess everyone has their weak spots. I didn't think she was that angry about it, but then again, I don't know. If I was there, I would have read it how I would have. But anyways, only after we have almost all the items collected and spread out on a desk like a treasure hunter's spoils do I realize that it wasn't necessary the height jab that got her riled up. She might not like being told that she can't do something, like jump. Ooh, Okay, that, yeah. But Ami herself seems to have forgotten all about it already. Quick to anger, quick to forgive. Is she that type of person? At least she doesn't seem to have taken anything to heart, as she clatters away happily while we pick up the rest of the items, and then make our way back to Rin. I chivalrously carry the bulk of the materials as we make our way towards the dormitories. Rin is really stressed about getting her painting done. It's her own fault, though. She should have started earlier. Is she going to make it? No idea. It looks good to me, but with Rin, you never know what's going on. I found her this morning lying in front of the dorm in fetal position. She hadn't slept all night. I can't believe that the night nurses hadn't found her. And now she's painting again like crazy. Yeah, I've noticed that she comes off as kinda unhinged, so to speak.